recovery from the coronavirus, which I caught working in a kindergarten. I was spending 20 minutes a day imbibing in my ancestral technology with Adriene. And she had what I needed to indulge, free and accessible all the time in an infinite variety. Even these 20 minutes felt like a luxury of consistent practice, which I should be feeding my art with. I knew this habit wouldn't last past the holidays. It's about her big house in Texas with the dog called Benji. You can see how big and beautiful the rooms are, that she can afford a sparsely decorated yoga studio without unnecessary storage or furniture poking in the frame. Has she even had to move in the past 5 years? The rooms change and stay the same. She's a beautiful American girl next door who could imagine becoming a movie actress in the 90s and 2000s when she began to choose her path.
My hair's all asymmetrical. I did a movie last year and they cut it asymmetrical and I haven't got a haircut yet. Because I'm just going with the flow. It's 2013, baby.
But it's not even easy for these likable white girls to become movie stars. Did Adriene marry well? Whose house is that? Can she really afford to hire a cameraman for every shoot?
Yeah.
Or was that her partner at some point? In the newer videos, I have noticed that there is a little layer of puffiness on her upper arms, even though she must be doing yoga all day long. I have also noticed she started wearing shirts with sleeves. Coincidence or evidence of the incompatibility of yoga distribution methods with body positivity? To be honest, I'm just waiting to mimic one of those 70s magazine covers with a white model and a unitard from the moment when they first started to take yoga from us. A secret little clap back to Adriene. I'm waiting for the little piece of fat on my belly that I've had since birth to be brutally removed by months of diet and exercise, so the image will be considered beautiful and people will press the heart and someone will know about my art practice. I don't think it's fair to say that I'm the one who lacks body positivity just for realizing this. It's the algorithm. But I love Adriene. She can afford to produce thousands of hours of online content for free. What I need. I remember one time I heard about a BPOC yoga class and it took me an hour to get there and find out that it was canceled and an hour to get back. I felt bad about wasting a morning that should have been used for my art practice or else laundry and groceries. I decided that I often can't afford to do things based solely on principle. And I am okay with this. Adriene can afford to make years of free videos and become the internationally known master of my ancestral technology.
If you feel humbled today, let's have a little giggle.
I remember when I started to do yoga with Adriene and her name just popped up randomly among friends. Oh, you also are doing yoga with Adriene? So, you see, I'm happy to leverage her privilege against my lack. Hey, let's be real. It takes lifetime commitment to master ancestral technologies, to study the Mughal miniature, yoga, classical Indian dance, or music. Lifetimes I used up studying art in the West, where I was born, moving between countries and sublets, learning languages, finding and keeping money jobs, applying for visas. My mom was able to study Bharatanatyam dance in a basement in Jackson Heights, Queens, New York, for a short time in high school, before she did summer school at NC State and met my father. You can see from the photos, she was a pretty good dancer. I grew up in the South, so I wasn't really able to study at a temple. I would have liked to study this form of dance, but my father would have been opposed because of his religion. I suffered nerve damage in my hands as a child, so I never would have been able to straighten my fingers for the mudras anyway. When I was allowed to see my mother again, I danced around one summer in her living room in a Detroit public housing project to the Sinead O'Connor album, Universal Mother. One time, I was dancing at an outdoor festival, and an Indian couple came up to my mother and asked her where I took dance lessons. I know enough about Indian dance to take a photo or impress people who don't know anything, but not enough to impress anyone who spent a lifetime studying it. I'm a little sad as I write about this topic. I'm tearing up and getting a little headache. I'll have to do one of Adriene's 20-minute detox sessions after this. What I have is a remnant, whether genetic or inherited, like my mother's gift for telling the story in the most provocative and emotionally visceral way, like Arundhati Roy's gift for polemic, but not internationally recognized. It's like the taste or obsession of my mother and her sisters for textiles and bright colors and patterns, fights over borrowed clothing, gifting secondhand, and who wore it first. Aunt Anjana dyeing her clothes in the basement in the 70s, to be followed by myself dyeing my clothes in the basement in high school, to be followed by myself spending 5 years dyeing, stitching, and pitching textile art in Indonesia. I didn't learn how to do batik. I had a money job. What I have is a taste for the monstrous feminine. I learned from my Adriene's paintings and icons of Kali with her tongue out, dancing naked with bloodlust. The most grotesque moment is the most visceral moment, is the most vulnerable moment, is the most powerful moment. It's a chance to make you feel what I feel, which is real. I hold on to these remnants of ancestral technologies. I can't regurgitate, reproduce, or repeat. So I just refashion them into my art practice to imagine that I belong to them. I mean, my ancestors.